evergreens pierced the sky, and survival meant understanding the delicate balance between courage and caution, there lived a boy named Tala. He was 10 winters old, small and wiry, with quick reflexes inherited from his mother, a tracker, and careful observation skills taught by his father, a gatherer of medicinal plants. His tribe lived in the shadow of the Great Mountains, in a world where massive short-faced bears, larger and more aggressive than any bear species that would follow, ruled the forest as undisputed apex predators. That autumn morning began with an unusual sound that pulled Tala from sleep before dawn. High-pitched crying echoing through the valley, the unmistakable distress call of a bear cub. It was strange for 2 reasons. First, bear cubs were almost never separated from their fiercely protective mothers. Second, the crying came from the direction of the cliff falls, a dangerous area of crumbling rock ledges where the mountain dropped away in a series of steep terraces. No sensible creature ventured there, especially not alone. Tala knew he should wake his parents and let the adults investigate, but the crying was so desperate, so filled with terror, that something in his young heart couldn't wait. He slipped from his family's shelter, grabbed his walking stick, and moved quietly toward the cliff area as the first gray light of dawn illuminated the forest. The crying grew louder as he approached, mixed now with scraping sounds and the occasional rumble of falling rocks. When Tala reached the cliff edge and looked down, his stomach dropped. Below, on a narrow rock ledge about 8 meters down, a bear cub, perhaps 4 months old, covered in thick cinnamon-brown fur, clung desperately to the crumbling stone. The ledge the cub stood on was barely a meter wide and clearly unstable. Even as Tala watched, a section of the ledge broke away and tumbled down the cliff face. The cub scrambled backward, crying louder, pressing against the cliff wall. Below the cub, the cliff dropped another 20 meters to a boulder field. A fall from that height would be fatal. Tala's mind raced through the scenario. How had the cub gotten there? He looked around and saw the answer. A tree had fallen during recent storms, creating a bridge from solid ground to the cliff ledges. The cub must have wandered across it exploring. Then the bridge collapsed, trapping the cub on the ledge with no way back. The fresh wood fragments scattered on the ledge confirmed this. The cub had been stuck there all night, alone and terrified. But where was the mother? Tala's heart pounded as he scanned the forest behind him. Adult short-faced bears were 3 meters tall when standing, massively muscular, with long, powerful legs built for running down prey. They were omnivores but would eagerly kill and eat humans if hungry or threatened. A mother bear was the most dangerous creature in the forest, protective beyond reason, aggressive beyond measure. If she returned and found a human near her cub, she would attack instantly and lethally. Tala should have left immediately, should have run back to camp and let the adults decide what to do. But as he watched the cub, its small, dark eyes wide with terror, its baby cries breaking his heart, he knew that waiting meant death for this small creature. The ledge was actively crumbling. In another hour, maybe less, it would give way completely. And where was the mother? If she was hunting, she might not return for hours. By then, it would be too late. Tala made his decision with the strange clarity that sometimes comes to the young, uncluttered by the fear that wisdom brings. He tied his rope, woven from strong plant fibers and reinforced with deer sinew, to the thickest tree at the cliff edge. He tested the knot 3 times, applying all his weight to ensure it would hold. Then he tied the other end around his waist and began lowering himself over the cliff edge. The descent was terrifying. The cliff face was nearly vertical, the rock crumbly and unreliable. Tala's small hands searched for holds, his feet dangled in empty air, and the rope was his only real security. He'd climbed trees before, even some small cliffs, but never anything like this. Never alone, never with his life depending entirely on a knot he'd tied himself, never with the knowledge that an angry mother bear might appear at any moment. He descended slowly, testing each handhold before trusting it, moving in careful increments. The cub watched him come, initially increasing its crying. A human approaching could mean danger. But Tala spoke softly, using the gentle tones his mother used to calm frightened animals. "It's okay, little one. I'm here to help. I won't hurt you, I promise." Over and over, his voice steady despite his hammering heart. When Tala reached the ledge, he had to proceed with extreme caution. The narrow shelf was even more unstable up close. Cracks ran through the rock, and entire sections shifted under his weight. He untied himself from the rope, coiled it, then crawled slowly toward the cub, distributing his weight across as much of the ledge as possible. The cub backed away, whimpering, confused and frightened by the small human. Tala sat still on the crumbling ledge, not approaching further, continuing to speak softly. He pulled a small piece of dried salmon from the pouch at his waist, his own breakfast, saved from the night before. He broke off a piece and tossed it gently toward the cub.